Hey, let's get it.
Let's fucking go. How's everybody doing? Hey, Ducky. How's it going? Happy New Year again. Although it's January 2nd for you. How's it going, dude? We're good.
Yeah, just chilling.
Goose isn't feeling very well today, so he's got that awesome, deep, raspy voice. Oh, God. How was your day, though? You're good. When are you gonna start streaming? Because I've noticed that you kind of took a hiatus there. I want to check you out. Okay. About your streaming. I was following you. When are you going to start streaming? Because I never see you go live. I never see you go live. Awesome. Double guns. What's going on? I'll shut him out.
Oh, do you have a host? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right.
There's Bailey.
Yeah, well,
You've done 3. How come I'm not seeing it? Like, what time do you go live? I'm not seeing it at all. I'm probably fucking sleeping or working.
probably.
We're good. How are you, Double Guns? Jiddles?
I do have a different setup. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might have to change it.
You don't like it? I like it. You need to start using that board because does that glow?
It does. So when I had it right behind me, it was too bright on stream, but I'll plug it back up and start using it.
Put something around it to like mute it a bit if you need to, like around the bulb kind of thing.
So I have a ring light now too. So if I turn it off, then it gets it gets washed out in here.
Gotcha. Oh, you need to put your Captain Goose on top of your tower as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a dope setup. I can't wait to change mine. I will be changing it. I just don't know when. Welcome, everyone, though. Honestly, I hope you guys had an amazing New Year's. Goose and I were talking about we were both kind of crabby. Yes. He's not feeling well. Mine was just, I never napped, so I was a little bit crabby. And by little, I mean a lot.
I'm like Bailey.
So, thanks, Double Guns. Okay.
Happy New Year, bro.
This podcast, you guys, I'm excited about it because we are doing an hour of true crime stories. True crime! I'm so excited. So excited.
Yes.
Woo! So, both of us found, Goose found 3 and I found 3 stories. But we want to also know any stories that you guys also know, even if it's in your area. Like, how dope is that? Like, I've had a few in the areas that I'm in, and there is one story about here, and I actually remember it fully. Yes, true crime. I'm so excited. This is like my jam. So originally on my Sunday Scaries, that was my plan, was to play video games and tell like one good fucking true crime story for at least an hour kind of thing. It just kind of stopped because everybody was just kind of in and out a little bit, so it was hard to do. So I'm excited about this one. Hi, Salty. What up, Minnie?
What's up, Kyle?
What the fuck is that? Is that a tomato or is that Bert or Ernie? Ernie.
I have no idea what that is.
That is fucking creepy as fuck.
That's good for Sunday, for our true crimes kind of deal podcast.
Fucking nut jobs, right? So, guys, at any point, feel free to put in a story if you know a story, a quick story, whatever. For anyone who's in here on the podcast, we do not have the talking hand on the podcast, so you cannot overpower the conversation with the talking hand. So that was removed. But please feel free to message anything that you guys know. Double Guns is scared. Well, I mean, Ducky might be able to hold you.
What's up, Miss Webb?
Hi, Miss Webby. How you doing, girlfriend? Oh,
JD.
I love her posts that she puts on her Instagram. They're so cute. And then she had one with her hubby. It was freaking adorable. Love it.
Awesome.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay, Goose, did you want to go first? Did you want to start yours?
Yeah, I can go first. So this one is a story from literally like 10 minutes from our house back home in eastern Kentucky. So there was an officer. He was out patrolling due to, outperforming a routine check for stop and checking for drugs and this and that. And he encountered a suspicious vehicle, and he was checking the vehicle and occupants. And as he was doing that, a man shot him. So the man who shot him fled the scene and was not apprehended for 15 days. And in that time, he had committed 2 more murders.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. He's been in prison for about 3 years now. But the 2 people, the patrolman that he killed, he'd been in the apartment for 12 years, and he had a wife and 2 kids. And then the other 2 people, I don't really have much information on them, but I know he did kill 2 other people.
That's crazy. And they've never found him, you said?
No, they found him 12 or 15 days later. I'd have to look at it again. But he was drugs, That's what caused it.
He was on drugs?
Oh, yeah. Selling drugs and...
Like a bath salts kind of story?
No, hard drugs like cocaine and meth.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that kind of leads to a good question for chat. Yes, Mrs. Webby, this is Frankenweenie. He's a little suck today. So, that kind of leads to a good question, which is, do you feel people who do these kind of crimes, do you feel like that's in their genetic makeup? Or do you think that people are pushed to that, whether it be drugs or scenarios or whatever? Because you can also say that there are these, when you think back to like way back in the past, people were killing each other like during like medieval times, like that was the norm. People were fighting for like we still have like the MMA, right? Like there's got to be something in somebody's genetic makeup to want to like punch somebody. I don't ever have that. Am I right? Am I wrong? Like, I really want to know everybody's opinion. What's your opinion on that?
I agree. It's just, everybody's like, oh, it's how they were raised. And it could be, if they come from an abusive family or something. But I don't think you're just born a killer. I think it just depends on your background.
Right.
I mean, I guess some people could wake up and just be like, I'm going to go kill somebody. But I think it's more of how they were brought up.
Yeah, like, it's really tough to say because it's just like you see people be pushed to their limits and will do anything. Like, I hate to use this as an example, but you hear people all the time, parents, they're not together anymore and the dad's kid gets taken away, and the more time that goes on that the system isn't doing anything, you hear that people get more and more angry. And that's where I wonder, like, is it being pushed, or do you think that was genetically in them already? I think it's that they were pushed to that they had to, it has to do with how they were brought up. That's what I think it was. Traumatic childhood trauma, or what it may be. Maybe they were in the foster service for a while, and the foster family that they had abused them or whatever. Aww. It just depends on how they were brought up. Thank you so much for the biddies, Goose. You did not have to do that. You know that.
Yeah, I know, but I had to give you your congratulations, and I didn't want to forget.
Got 2 of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
But I don't know.
I got Frankenweenie.
It becomes a dad joke. It becomes a prank.
On my glasses. His nose, wet nose on my glasses.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a really good story. And that you said that was near you?
Oh, yeah. It happened I think it was 15 to 20 minutes from where we live, but where we have a place back home?
Jesus. Okay. Let me just find the one that I had found. Okay. So this one, I'm going to actually read it to you guys. I'm going to read it just because I don't want to fuck anything up and I want to give you the actual facts, like from what it says. Okay. So mine are obviously of Canadians who of true crime stories. Because I'm Canadian. Okay, so there was a guy named Albert Guay, Guay. It says the mastermind of the worst mass murder on Canadian soil. Guay was desperate to get rid of his wife, Rita, and win back his 17-year-old mistress. 17-year-old.
Holy cow.
In 1949, he bought his wife a ticket on a Canadian Pacific flight to Baie-Comeau, Quebec. Then got a bomb into the plane's mail baggage. It exploded mid-flight, killing all 23 passengers and crew on board, including 4 children. Because the flight had taken off 5 minutes late, the debris was scattered on land rather than in the St. Lawrence River. And authorities used the wreckage to track down and convict Guay, along with his 2 accomplices, a guy named Généraux, and the manufacturer of the bomb, who was the manufacturer of the bomb, and Marguerite, the woman who shipped it. All 3 were hanged. And here's the crazy thing, because you don't really hear about people being hung, obviously, anymore, at least here in Canada. So for it to be in 1949 when that happened, that's still pretty fucking close. It's only 50 years, guys. Like that, well, 60, I guess. But like, that was still pretty fucking close. So it's just, it's fucking nuts. And what extreme do you go to? That's obsession.
It is obsession.
It is fucking nuts how obsessed people can get. I don't know if any of you have ever had a stalker in your life, but I certainly have. And it's crazy because sometimes you don't see those signs, right? And that is clear. Not only stalker, but obsession to a full extent, to kill somebody just to be with somebody, a 17-year-old, no less.
Yeah. So you're already committing a crime to be with a 17-year-old, but you're going to go ahead and kill your wife. Like, come on, man.
And kids and whatever. Like,
yeah.
That wasn't even, here's the thing. Like, it's one thing to like go to kill your kids and maybe he just figured, it'll explode over the water, they'll never find out that it was him and whatever. Maybe that was his mastermind. But he didn't just kill his wife. He knew he'd be killing everybody on that plane. And then that goes back to the question, like, are you born with this? Is something driving you? Like, it's fucking crazy where people's mind is. It's just fucking nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. But saying that also, think of Paul Bernardo. That Paul Bernardo case and Karla Homolka. I'm not sure if you know much about that, Goose.
No, I don't.
Okay, so that was based out of Toronto. I do know a bit of it because I'm into true crime and shit like that. And there was a book that had come out, 20 years ago, maybe even longer. And it was such a good book. It was such a good read. I cannot remember what it's called, but it was based on the story. So Paul Bernardo raped and killed women. They all were women of the same appearance, like the same weight, height. They had the same look, like, whatever. And he met Karla Homolka and they were in a relationship. And so she got off on the fact that he was killing these women and she would, partake in it. And one Christmas, they planned, after he came over to her house for Christmas. They planned after her parents had gone to bed. They got her sister drunk, and while she was passed out, he raped her. Not only with himself, he raped her with beer bottles.
What?
And she watched and laughed and had a good time with it. And disgusting. So,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Can't remember fully, so do not quote me, guys. I'm pretty sure that Karla Homolka is actually out free right now. And Paul Bernardo keeps trying to get out of jail in Ontario. I think he keeps trying to get out. It's just fucking disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Now, okay, I'm going to ask a question because I'm hanging myself here. So these stories are fucking gross, are absolutely gross. She did go to jail, guys, just so you know. She did go to jail, but she, because she didn't do the act, even though she was just a part of it, she got a lesser sentence, which is disgusting. But anyway, us as a society, because I love true crime. I watch that shit on Netflix. I watch all this stuff. Because I'm included in this question.
Yeah,
Do you think it's weird that we have an obsession with true crime? We hear these stories and we think, oh my God, that's gross. How, like, what if that was a loved one? Like, it's disgusting, but yet we're intrigued by it at the same time. And again, Goose, that leads back to, is it in our genes?
Maybe it is. I think it's pretty weird that my wife watches it and then tells me she knows how to get away with murder. But maybe that's just pretty part of how she was raised or in her genes. I don't know.
I think it's a women.
Flipped off.
I think it's I don't want to generalize women. I don't want to do that, but I think that's a women thing anyways. A lot of women that I know definitely are into. Yeah. Like, I have all these fucking shows saved on my Netflix, you guys. What the fuck? She should have the same treatment as absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah. It was just disgusting. But, you know, maybe we'll do like a podcast or a Sunday Scaries where I go like deeper into it and I tell more of the story of everything that happened. But I kind of wish that Netflix would make this an actual story, because honestly, like an actual show, because it was fucking, when I read this book, you guys, I remember hearing Karla Homolka's name on the news when I was very young. I remember my mom would be making dinner in the kitchen. We had like one of those like stupid little tiny TVs, the portable TVs in there. And I remember hearing the news, and you would just hear Karla Homolka's name consistently on the TV. Also the Lisa Lam story, which maybe I should tell that one as well, but that one's on Netflix, so whatever. But yeah, no, I'm so intrigued by it, and I start to question myself and my sanity, because I'm like, why do I like it so much? Because what if that was a friend of mine? What if that was, you know, family members or whatever? It could have been. Yeah. But it kind of goes with also saying, like, you know, like when somebody passes away and people ask, what happened? What happened? You know, it's that internal, you know, question. And you just kind of start to question yourself. You're just like, is that right or is that wrong? You know?
I mean, yeah, because you if you start to look at it that way, it's like, is there something wrong with me for liking this?
Yes.
Does that mean that I've had trauma in my life? That means that's why I like it? Or as you said, maybe it's just part of my DNA and I could snap one day.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like we all are capable of snapping, obviously.
Oh, hell yeah, I know I am.
Hang on a sec. Blaine, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Let me just shout you out. I don't know if I can shout him out.
I got it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's just nuts, but I'm enamored by. Welcome to the podcast. Just so you know, this is Goose and I am Hot Nugget. We make up a Goose Nuggets podcast, and we do a podcast every Saturday. So welcome,
Blaine. Glad to have you here.
Just as a reminder, guys, I know like we have the new overlay, which is fucking dope. I have to say, I have to give myself props for that.
It is dope.
I really like it. But please check out at the bottom there. We are now on YouTube. We got the YouTube going. So we didn't post any of our old podcasts, guys. We decided to start fresh from 2022. So this podcast will be up there. If you know anybody who loves watching YouTube podcasts, like listening to them while they are working, please let them know about it. And yeah, check out our Instagram. We're constantly updating if we are when we're going live, if there's any changes to the schedule, anything like that. So we will also be doing next week. We will be posting on the Instagram random questions in the stories. We're going to be doing next week's topics are going to be top 10s of different things. So we're going to be posting on our stories asking, what are your top whatever of this topic? And then you can fill in, and we're going to make a whole thing of it, and we're going to go through it all together. We're all going to discuss whether we agree, disagree, whatever.
Exactly.
It'll be fun.
Also, you can check out our Discord. We post in there when we're going live and post our stream posters.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Blaine, for coming through. We appreciate the new view. Love it. Love to see it. And I hope you guys
hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Salty, we all know, everybody in here knows if something happens to Goose, who to blame. We know exactly who to do that. Hi, Destroyer. 100%. Thank you for the lurk. Appreciate you. Okay. What is your next story, Goose?
So my next story is an unsolved crime. Mm-hmm. Let me pull it up here. So this is also from Kentucky. Mm-hmm. This is close to where Amanda grew up. It's from Pikeville, Kentucky, and it's a female who has been missing for 8 years now.
Oh no!
Her name is Crystal Hall, and she was last seen on March 1st of 2009. They still have no information on her. So one thing that we have heard from different people is sex trafficking is happening pretty regularly in Eastern Kentucky. So we're thinking that she probably will never be seen again because she's been sent overseas to be as a sex trafficker.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily think she somebody could have killed her and hit her body, but
she was.
Yeah, so somebody had showed up to her house, knocked on her back door. She went to see who it was, and that's the last thing anybody knows of her.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
I've got some buddies who are, cops stuff, and they're like, it's pretty bad back here for that. So
yeah. Destroyer redeemed ASMR.
Destroyer.
Okay. Well, we'll do that on the next story. Okay, so that being said, then, Goose, let's talk CSI. Because, listen, we all know that there's dummies out there who do stupid things and leave their DNA and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But what scares me is the amount of people, children, women, men, who go missing every single fucking day and no trace. And I'm sorry. Not everybody is like as smart as Salty on how to kill somebody.
Exactly.
But it blows my mind. Now, I don't want to be that asshole that puts that out there, but do you ever wonder if things are not solved for reasons?
Yes. So I think a lot of bad shit happens. And they're so, like, maybe as somebody that's into aliens, maybe somebody disappeared and they don't want to release it, hey, that they were abducted or something. Or something maybe more gruesome than that we wouldn't understand. I don't know. But I do think there are certain things that were not solved because we wouldn't understand them. We'd be asking too many questions.
Well, okay, so I'm going to tell you guys this. I'm not sure how much you know. Destroyer, I will do my next story in the ASMR, so don't worry, we're not ignoring it. So I'm going to tell you something that you don't probably know, because I didn't know this either. And I'm sure it's the same across the board. I can't imagine where I'm located being any different than anywhere else. Now, I would like to say that where I'm located, I'm in Alberta. I'm not going to say my exact location, obviously, but I'm in Alberta, and we actually do have the highest number of murders in Canada here. So, that being said, I have a friend who, her friend works with the police. And she was saying that there is a surprising amount of body parts that are found daily and weekly that are
Holy cow.
not talked about on the news, any type of social media. They're not fucking brought up whatsoever. They're kept under the radar. And you would be surprised because, you know, in bigger cities, like, we're pretty big, but not that big. And if that's happening here...
So you've got a serial killer that they're not telling y'all about, and that's why.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things, right? Like, I don't know how much people know about stuff that's happened in Canada, but all those kids who were killed in schools for the last 50, 60 years, their bodies have been found.
Wow, I didn't know anything about that.
Okay, yeah, I'll show you some stuff. So back in the summertime, mid-fall, it was massive. It was massive. All these bodies were found. A lot of native... It was at native schools. Churches were not agreeing with them and the way they raised their kids and decided to take care of them themselves, which is very, very sad. It's very sad. So yeah, I'll share that article with you. And if anybody else wants to know anything about that, please DM me. Let me know. It is a sad story. I don't know too much.
Definitely.
I don't know too much about it, but I do know that it was so big that on like regular radio stations, every half hour there was a time slot of somebody in the native community who was doing a I don't know,
just like doing a testimony about what was going on.
Yes, like just that kind of stuff. How they felt and what they were seeing, and nobody believed them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's heartbreaking. Kids, and who knows how many more. It was 480 was the last number I had heard. 480, and
wow,
that was just in I think a couple provinces. So imagine across Canada entirely, how many? And it's fucking sad.
It is.
Okay, so I'm going to say this in ASMR, but anybody in chat, Goose, anybody in chat, you guys have heard of the show Dexter?
Yes.
All right. We had our own here.
What?
I have to read it in ASMR, so. The guy's name was Mark Twitchell. And yes, Ducky. Happy New Year, Wizzy. Welcome back. Okay, so...
Hey, Wizzy.
Mark Twitchell was inspired by Dexter. He was born in Edmonton, posed as a woman online in 2008, and lured this guy named John to a rent-a-garage where he killed him and dismembered the body. While Mark would later be dubbed the Dexter Killer, he was in no way as meticulous as the show's lead character. When police arrested Twitchell 2 weeks after the crime, traces of blood were found on the clothes he was wearing. Police also recovered a deleted file from his hard drive that was essentially a transcript of his crimes. It was named SK Confessions, which authorities took to mean serial killer confessions. The document began, "This story is based on true events. The names and events were altered slightly to protect the guilty. This is the story of my progression into becoming a serial killer. Last year, Twitchell was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison." So.
Wow.
This on my 7.1 surround sound headphones is awesome. You like some ASMR, Ducky? So, I remember hearing about this guy. So, yes, he was posing as a woman on Tinder or something like that, and trying to convince men to come back to this garage. So, basically, it was, there's the house, there's the backyard, and there's like the pathway to get to the garage, and that's where it was. So, it was on a back alley, I guess you could say. So anything that would happen, unless somebody was driving by with their windows down or hanging out in their backyard, odds of somebody hearing anything would probably be very slim. At least I know for the houses here, that's usually how it is. Wow, my ears when you finish. I don't know what that means. Was it good or bad? Was I loud all of a sudden?
Oh, special guest.
Hi, Bailey. So on that note, let's talk about dating apps and how unsafe they are. Absolutely unsafe, you guys.
100% unsafe.
And you can sit there and say that you're meeting somebody in a public place, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to stalk you right after. As somebody who has had a stalker, you're not safe no matter what. So if you are on dating apps, please be cautious of what you're doing. Please let people know what's happening in your life. I have been on dating sites before, and when I've gone to meet people, I literally would text two of my friends and I'd be like, okay, I'm here. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, I'm doing this, whatever. Okay, I'm going home. This is the person. This is their phone number, like that kind of stuff. You can't be too careful these days, right? You have
Definitely not.
You have to, as much as possible, right? So if you are on dating apps, please, please, please be careful. Yeah, my stalker, I don't even know how he knew when I was home, because he showed up at my house one time and I had left work early. So it's really fucked up. It's absolutely fucked up. And I would see him here and there. So I ended up moving to where I am now, and I have not seen him at all. So thank God.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But yes, please fucking be careful. But I just remember this guy. He was a huge Dexter fan, and just some people are just nuts, and you just don't know it. You don't know it. It makes me sad. Oh, look at her face. I just love her face.
She's had enough. She's going to go to her mommy.
Have you ever done a dating site thing? I know you were a stud in high school.
I was not a stud in high school. Facebook. I mean, if that counts.
Oh, just you'd randomly add people and then meeting them. Yeah.
I'd meet them out at a party and then randomly we'd add and then get to talking. Mm-hmm. But I've never actually done a dating site.
No. So I did the Tinder thing once, and I met one of my exes on Tinder. I lucked out, actually, because he's actually one of my friends now. But he was very, very nice. But there's been a lot of horror stories that I've heard with friends with Tinder, people obviously leading people on and whatever. But it was actually a dating site. I can't remember what it was. Actually dating, and that's where I met the fucking psycho, and then that was it for me. Actually, sorry, I tried one last time and I got catfish, so I was like, no. Nope. He also had girls in the back of a truck with clothes flying.
That's the one I told you about when I got caught. So yeah.
The whole your dad with the head nod.
Yeah.
You do you?
I mean, we just made eye contact, and he's like, I could tell he was saying, that's my boy. And, then I just went back to doing what I was doing.
Oh my God. I couldn't.
Oh, I did. It was worth it too.
Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Told you her favorite story.
She rubs it in all the time.
Every day.
All right, what is your next story?
So this one happened about an hour away from where we currently are in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's been going on since 2015 or 16. Mm-hmm. But it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody, and you wouldn't think any bad thing would happen there. Mm-hmm. Well, it was 2013, so it's been going on for a while now. My bad. So a Bardstown police officer named Jason Ellis was ambushed and killed on his way home after signing off for the night. They waited on him at the exit so they could kill him. So 1 year later, they still haven't found him. A mother and her teenage daughter were brutally murdered inside their house.
Oh.
And the only way they discovered the bodies because she was a special ed teacher. She didn't show up for work the next day. So that nobody knows anything about that. Who did it? What happened? I mean, they know what happened, obviously, but the events leading up to it, nothing. And then a year and a half later, around Thanksgiving, another person who had spent countless hours looking for the killer was shot and killed on his own property while hunting with his grandson. Don't know what happened. Didn't find anybody.
It had to be somebody close to them. It had to be somebody close.
To be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Somebody that knew that they were doing research.
Exactly.
And it just happened to link through.
So that's like I said, since 2013, they've had those murders, and nobody knows what's going on, who did it. They're completely unsolved.
So it's funny about that because I watched something. I can't remember what I watched. I'm trying to think. It must have been something on Netflix about, oh God, what was it about? I don't remember, but there was something on Netflix. I know it was something about true crime and whatever. And people were saying that they're actually going back into old investigations now that they've got new stuff.
New ways to try to track down the killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're finding a lot of fucking people who have killed people because of this stuff. And it's just, it's mental. Like, you know, it kind of makes you think like that should be a job all on its own.
Yes.
Like that should be a new career position going back now. And because I mean, I don't think there's enough time in the fucking world to go back into a lot of them, right? So, like, I think
they have the cold case files. It's like a show, but that actually they do that. They go back and find the old files that are missing and look, what did we miss? Is there anything like there was DNA, but we didn't have the way to test it back then? Well, let's try
do they?
that.
Okay, that's dope. So I wonder what the odds are of that.
I don't know. It just depends on how good. Like it depends on you. Like so, me and you were the first two people on the case, and our notes weren't that good. Then they're not going to have anything to go off of. It depends on how serious people took their job back then. Whenever they were documenting everything.
Well, and that's the thing. Like it's unfortunate, but I mean, we all know the last few years, cops have been being called out. So how long this has been going on for, why they're doing it. It really makes you fucking wonder. And that goes back to my question earlier of, do you think that things are being discarded for a reason? You know, like because of, you know, who cares about a fucking prostitute? You know, like that's their mindset. Who cares about a drug dealer? They don't give a shit. Who cares about the homeless person? They don't have family, clearly. You know what I mean? Like it's just shit like that. And you just kind of start to wonder, you know? And
yeah, it's kind of like what kind of society are we living in if we're letting this happen?
Yeah, exactly. And I've always had a heart about people who are homeless, obviously for the fact that they're homeless, but also, you know, if somebody ever went missing, nobody would know it.
Yeah.
And
nobody would care. What
a fucking sad, like, thought, you know? Like, I feel horrible for people. It's just, I don't know. It's just fucking sad. It just, breaks my heart. And I hope that a lot of families are able to get the results that they need in life, because imagine living your whole life not wondering what the fuck is going on, you know, what happened, or knowing in your heart what happened, but you can't. There's nothing you can do because there's no proof. Nobody's been convicted, you know, whatever.
Well, Salty, why don't you just go ahead and tell us what it is in the comments?
Yeah, you are more than welcome to. Okay, so I have a story, and I'm sure a lot of people fucking know it already, so it's not anything crazy, but it is an unsolved crime. And it is the killing of Jean-Banay Ramsay. Do you know who that is?
I was actually going to talk about that one, and I'm glad I didn't.
So, for those of you who do not know about Jean-Banay Ramsay, this one's a little bit long, so I am going to be reading it, so I apologize ahead of time. Okay. So Jean-Banay Ramsay was a 6-year-old girl who lived in Colorado. So this one isn't Canadian, but
I'll tell a story about Tupac double guns.
I thought you were gonna say Tupac. I mean, we can all assume what happened there. So she was a pageant girl. She's 6 years old, a pageant girl. Absolutely adorable. And just so you know, people think that to this day that she actually is Katy Perry, that she was actually just stolen out of her home. However,
really, I haven't heard that.
There is a theory that she is Katy Perry. But we need to do a podcast on theories, like we really fucking do. I'm dying for that. So, okay. So when she had, so it was Christmas that she had passed, and she had, Ducky, thank you so much for the biddies. Brother or mother did it. We don't know what you're talking about, Salty. You'll have to actually describe the story in the chat. Okay.
Oh, yes, got found.
I'll wait till this shout out is done.
There we go. What?
Get it.
I gotta watch this.
Oh.
No, he's got rapid fire. You can't. Hey, Gina, clip that.
I hear excuses. Okay. So there was a long written ransom note that was found in the home. Her father, John, found the girl's body in the basement in their house about 7 hours after she had been reported missing. She had sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head and had been strangled. It looks like something had been tied around her neck as well. The autopsy report stated that Jean-Banay's official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation associated with the trauma to her head. Her death was ruled as a homicide. The case generated nationwide public and media interest because her mother, Patsy Ramsay, who also was a former beauty queen, thank you again, Ducky, for the biddies, had entered Jean-Banay into a series of child beauty pageants. The crime is still unsolved and remains an open investigation. Let me just scroll down. The Boulder police initially suspected that the ransom note had been written by Patsy and that the note and appearance of Jean-Banay's body had been staged by her parents in order to cover up the murder. So to this day, everybody thinks that the parents did it. Everybody knows in their heart that the parents had something to do with this. They can sit there and lie all they want.
Yes.
I will 1,000,000% say in my heart, I know that those people killed their daughter.
I remember my parents watching this, mostly my mom freaking out over it when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's so fucking sad. But nobody knows why. But there was abuse that was going on in the house. It was physical. It was physical abuse and whatever. In 1998, the police and district attorney both said that Jean-Banay's brother, Burke, who was 9 years old at the time of her death, was not a suspect. Jean-Banay's parents gave several televised interviews but resisted police questioning except on their own terms. The grand jury had recommended filing charges against the Ramsays for permitting the child to be in a threatening situation. John and Patsy were also accused of hindering the prosecution of unidentified person who had committed the crime of the murder. So just so you guys know, there was also...
Hey, mother, we're doing good. Happy New Year. Hope you're having a great day.
There was also unfamiliar DNA on Jean-Banay's clothing when they had found her. So my theory is they hired somebody, because let's be honest, if you're going to kill somebody, you're probably going to want somebody from the outside, unless you're like the guy from fucking wanting to be like Dexter. Like, let's be honest. So they probably hired somebody, but they can't find that person. And it's just, it's a fucking sad story, because one, there's no reason behind it. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But that 9-year-old, when he was 9, is a grown-ass adult now, and you kind of want to know
what he knows.
What he remembers. Because, I mean, his parents are old now. Who the fuck cares? Like, you know, would you go against your family? Hi, Mo. Hi, Bongo. Would you go against your family if you knew something was up? You know what I mean? And in February 2009, they opened the case back up, just so you know. So, who knows?
You would think, being that young, and if you saw something, it would be eating at you to this day, that you would almost have to say something.
But at that young age, that is usually when people block things out. You know, when something traumatic happens, when you can't explain it, when you can't deal with it, you block things out. I'm sure there's a lot of things that have happened in your life that you probably are blocking out, unintentionally or intentionally. Your brain is just shutting it down. So, it's a sad story, because it happened on Christmas, first off, which, you know, Christmas is a massive holiday. So, you know, people will always remember that. And two, it was a child. You know, you hear these stories. If you watch fucking Unsolved Mysteries or any of those true crime shows on Netflix or any other app, it breaks your heart when you watch the ones that have anything to do with the kids, you know?
Most definitely, especially if you have kids.
Yeah. Patsy's actually dead. Oh, is she? Okay. So, yeah. So the son should be coming out now and saying something.
Exactly.
You know?
What's up, Ben?
Hi, Ben. Happy New Year, Mo. Appreciate it. So my mouth is a joke, but in this case, Jean-Banay was murdered by her mother or brother. So, yeah, I kind of wonder, like, okay, here is a good theory. Here's a good theory, because we kind of talked on, you know, people who get away with murder all the time, right? So what if the kid, like the brother, did it because, you know, going back to the whole, is it in your genetic makeup? He was pissed off, jealous, whatever. His sister was getting all this fucking attention. Whatever the fucking reason was, he had killed his sister, got away with it as a grown-ass adult. And that was a 9-year-old, okay? Imagine as an adult what he could be capable of right now, what he could be doing.
He could be a killer just out there waiting to snap, you know?
He could be, and when I say Dexter, I don't mean Dexter. I mean somebody who's been going so long, for years, killing somebody, and nobody's finding out because he's probably, you know, figured out how to do it properly. I still don't think it's the brother. I think it's the mom. I think they hired somebody. I think something happened. I think they had hit her. I don't know. I mean, I know they can figure that shit out.
She wanted to give up the pageant stuff, and they didn't like it, and they hit her, and then, like you said,
and they were scared, and they dealt with it.
Yep. Or, like Amanda said, maybe the brother pushed her down the steps, or, you know, he was upset because she was getting all the attention, and he hurt her.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't want anything to happen, so they staged this because you know, like, yeah, they hit her she got hit in the head and had a lot of fucking issues in the back of her head, and it could have killed her in the first place, but we don't know that. But it could have caused her brain damage, which they noticed. And how do you explain it? You take your kid to a hospital for whatever, say they broke their ankle or something like that, but they have bruises because kids, you know, they fall off of things, they bump their heads, whatever. But you know that hospital is also looking at you as a parent, and we all know as parents that feeling of, do they think something's going on even though nothing is? You always have that fucking worry. So 100% I feel like they knew that they couldn't take that kid to the hospital because they would be fucking charged with neglect or whatever.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think it was the little brother that did it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're really on that?
Yep. Amanda's convinced me of it. She talks about it every day.
Salty, you need to make a new Netflix special because we all want to know. Is it Katy Perry?
Could you imagine, though, if it was Katy Perry? How is there even anything that says, yeah, it actually could be? Like, do they have evidence?
No, it's just, I think, a fan theory. Just because they look similar as kids.
See, I haven't even seen them as kids.
Yeah, they looked very similar as kids. And, like, Katy Perry's talked about her, like, cult family. Like, her parents were in, like, a fucking church cult. And
yeah.
So, you never know. Maybe, I don't know. Because they do have the body, so I don't understand.
Yeah, if they have the body, unless somebody who was going to kidnap her, I don't know. How would you don't, if you had good evidence to tie it together, then I could maybe entertain the idea, but right now, that's just fake.
Right. I hear you. But, like, stuff like this is just crazy. And there's, like, so many more stories we could have told you. Like, we're already at the hour mark, and I could have gone on so many other fucking stories. So, that being said, though, if you are interested, please check out stuff on Netflix. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, please check out. There's so many stories on Netflix, and it does break your heart, but it does keep you interested. And if there's one that you want to, that you don't really normally check out, please watch Don't Fuck with Cats. That show blew my mind. It's here in Canada as well, in Ontario.
Cats? What's that?
Don't Fuck with Cats. So basically, yes, Ducky, you and I have to talk. Because I love this shit, and it disturbs me to say that, but I love it. I love this shit. I don't wish ill on anyone. I want to make that fucking clear. I do not wish ill on anyone, but I do love this stuff, whether it's real or fake. You know what I mean? Like, I truly love it. But Don't Fuck with Cats was so amazing. It started with, because I'm not going to go into too much detail because I really want people to, like, if there was any show that you guys were going to watch of true crime, please watch this one. So basically it just starts out with this guy had posted a video of a cat that was, I'm pretty sure it was super glued to a piece of paper or something like that. And a fucking snake goes to eat it. Like, all this stuff. It was posted to the internet. This guy was, like, fucking around with cats. But from that point on, it leads to people. And the beginning of the show versus to the end, you are on the wildest ride I have ever seen in a fucking case. Please.
So is it a bunch of episodes or just one long episode?
Yeah, I think it's like 6 episodes or something like that. 4 or 5, 6. I don't know. It is so fucking good. But you're just like, what the fuck? And honestly, I never heard about this guy. And it was in Ontario.
Wow.
I'm from Ontario. That's why I know a lot of the other stuff. But I never heard of this one, and that one was like an hour outside of my
so
where
much
I grew up.
screaming. What's going on, Kyle?
What do you mean, so much screaming?
I don't know. That's what Kyle just said.
No, I'll have to send you an article of a 7-year-old missing. They've been on TV shows 3 times. So yeah, there's like a lot of stuff, you guys. Like, there's a ton of things. Like, there was people. Okay, there was a. I'm pretty sure this is on one of the shows on. It's not an Unsolved Murder. I can't remember what it's on. It was some show that I watched, and it was like this guy do you remember Jenny Jones?
No.
You don't remember Jenny Jones? It was a talk show? Really? Okay.
I mean, maybe if I seen her face.
You know, like Ricky Lake, but it was Jenny Jones during the morning.
I remember Ricky Lake, but I don't.
Okay.
Jones just does it.
So Jenny Jones was. Oh no, it was on Ricky Lake. Sorry, my bad. It was on Ricky Lake. This guy had brought. You remember Ricky Lake used to do those things of like, I have a crush on you, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell you on live television that I have a crush on you. Do you remember those episodes?
I mean, it was like when I was 8 or 9 years old.
Okay,
so
well, fuck.
not really.
Okay, I aged myself. So this guy decided to bring this guy on that he had a crush on, and the guy was not gay. And anyway, the guy was embarrassed, whatever, but he kind of laughed it off. Well, turns out a few days later, he ended up murdering the guy who brought him on the show because he was
Holy shit.
mortified.
Damn.
Because he's not gay, and I guess in his mind, that's a sin. I don't know. But anyways, he ended up killing the person. It was this whole story. I'm pretty sure there's an episode of something like that on Netflix, but please check out Don't Fuck with Cats. It's amazing. It is an amazing roller coaster of emotions. I don't know if Salty has seen it, but you guys need to sit down and watch it together.
If she hasn't, I'm sure she'll want to watch it.
Yes.
Those kids are driving you crazy, huh, Kyle?
Gypsy Rose, I've never heard
Ready
of it.
to get back to work? So also, since we're coming to the end of our hour for our podcast, I do want to say again, congratulations, Nugget, on getting the job. It's
Oh, thank you.
So happy for you. Glad you followed your dreams, you stuck with it, and you're doing something you love.
Thank you. Well, I kind of
welcome.
love it because I don't want to do pedicures, but I will. I will
Oh,
for
you
now.
don't like feet?
No, I just don't want to be doing pedicures. Like, I don't want to be working on feet. But yeah, so I got the job that I had applied for. It seems to be like a perfect fit. And for anybody who knows, like, I also do lashes and nails as my business, which I still will be running my business as well. Just less availability, obviously, during the week, more on the weekends here. But to build up clientele better, I'll be working out of this day spa. So they do manicures, pedicures, facials, and I will be the only one there that does lashes. So yay to me, because that will bring in a massive clientele for me. So, Ducky, just so you know, to answer your question, Gypsy Rose, I do know of that story. I have not watched it, but yes, I do know of it. It's so fucking sad. It's so sad. I'm assuming we're talking about the same one. I think we're talking about the same. No, maybe we aren't. I could be wrong. Is it the one where the mom pretends that the daughter has something wrong with her? Can you fit me in for some lashes? Absolutely. Okay, so yes. So there's like that whole story.
There was
on it.
one a movie that I watched
It's called
when
The
I was
Act.
younger.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was about this little girl who was getting sexually abused, and it went on, and nobody noticed. It just kept going on, and finally, she was like 8 or 9 years old, and she was drinking, and just to numb the pain or whatever. I have to figure out what it is, and you can watch it because it is a really good movie.
Yeah, let me know. Let us know. Post it in the Goose Nuggets Discord.
I will. If you're anybody that is interested in joining the Discord, I'll drop the link again right now.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Ducky, I will definitely do your lashes. I appreciate that you'd want to get your lashes done. But what is that? What is that?
So I'm using my foot pedal to talk, and anytime I'm talking and I click in your chat, it just starts putting in a B because that's what I have it keybind as.
Oh.
Yeah, I fucked up.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, The Act. I did have it saved. I can't remember what it's on. I did have it saved, and then it either was taken off. I don't remember. But yes, I definitely want to check that out. It was one of the ones that I definitely wanted to see. So if you guys have any recommendations, please join the Goose Nuggets Discord and give us some recommendations on some good shows, good movies that you've seen, any information like that. We also have a channel in there for any type of podcast suggestions, what you guys want to see.
Yes.
So Goose and I are going to be exchanging packages. We still haven't done that yet just because I just didn't know where I was at with this job. So we'll do that soon. So we'll have a unboxing. It'll be Canadian versus American stuff that we both don't have, kind of thing. We also have like the theories. We want to do that because we're both into that as well. And I also have an option of a special guest who grows his own pot, and he actually streams it. He streams a lot of stuff about marijuana, like growing the plants, all like the business side of it and whatever. And he would love to come on and talk about it. So if you guys are interested in that, please let me know. Hi, Panda. How's it going?
What's up, Panda?
The Discord is an invalid invite.
Hang
on. Let me do it from my phone.
Yeah. I don't know why the computer link doesn't want to work.
I don't know either, because I've noticed that too. Hang on. Invite. Copy link. Hold up, guys. 1 second. Paste. Okay, there you go. That is the invite to the Discord. So if you are not part of Goose Nuggets and would like to be, go for it. We are also open to having a lot more special guests on. So if you would like to be a special guest, please reach out to one of us, and we'll figure out what it is that you would bring to the podcast if you have something special that you do. But yeah, we would love to have you guys on, even if it's just a fucking podcast of us drinking and looking stupid.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely do that later in time when Goose is feeling a little bit better.
Sounds wonderful.
Well,
appreciate everybody for being here, hanging out with us. Let's continue to keep this going into the new year and just have fun with it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you for the amazing, amazing first podcast of 2022. It's disgusting to have said that. Let's fucking go. So we have a full fucking year of some good times, and I hope that this community grows more, and I hope you guys continue to keep coming in, because we love you guys so, so much, honestly. We truly do. So, that being said, Happy New Year's, you guys, and we will definitely check you guys out soon. Bye, Goose. Bye. Everyone.
Bye, everyone.